It's the battle of the sexes. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we are counting down our picks for the top 10 male versus female fights in anime. For this list, we'll be looking at the most explosive fights that took place between two members of opposing gender. I'm Todd Haberkorn, and did you know that at conception we are phenotypically female for about 6 to 7 weeks of gestation, and then our biological houses are assigned. Hashtag I'm Hufflepuff.
Let's get ready to mojo!
Number 10, Belle versus Aisha. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? We knew this lady of the night was looking for a fun time, but this probably wasn't what she had in mind.
バカだね。レベルブーストが切れるのを待つなんて。だが嫌いじゃないよ。
After kidnapping Haruhime with plans to sacrifice her, it falls to everyone's favorite adequate dungeon crawler to get her back, clashing swords with the equally dangerous and promiscuous Aisha.
ヘルカイオス。
While she's rocking a much bigger blade, if there's one thing Belle is a pro at, it's saving anxious nice girls from exotic beauties, which he accomplishes here by breaking her weapon before following up with a fire bolt to the sternum. Fire bolt! Number 9, Maki versus Flail, Fire Force. She may be scared of ghosts, but she sure as hell ain't scared of no man.
あなたがフレイル。うちの可愛い後輩を随分痛めつけてくれたようですね。二式冬ユニット撤去。
Despite being vastly outnumbered by the white-clad and their butch commander, Company 8's resident firecracker proceeded to show them all that when it comes to fisticuffs, she's nigh unbeatable. Especially when she's got two homing mecha fists backing her up.
そのまま焼き潰れてしまう。
Maki doesn't just beat these guys, she downright destroys them, smashing in faces and crushing bodies with absolute ferocity. I hope you can pay your health insurance deductible. And this is why you just don't join cults, people.
誰がゴリラサイクロプスで
Number 8, Roy Mustang versus Lust. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
ようやくひざまずいたな。
This most voluptuous of homunculi might have thought she was the hottest one in the room. But it turns out she's got nothing on a topless Colonel Roy Mustang, armed with a lighter and a serious case of vengeance, wherein he uses his flame alchemy to roast Lust to the point where not even her regeneration is capable of preventing her demise. It's a hell of a way to go out, but given how she broke both Havoc's heart and his spine during her ambush, we'd say it was a rather fitting end. Number 7, Casca versus Adon, Berserk.
What's wrong? No more ground to retreat to?
Given how, in their first confrontation, this overprivileged general only managed to win because Casca was consumed by a hellish fever, it was more than a little satisfying to see her knock him senseless during their rematch. As the Band of the Hawk successfully seizes Doldry, Casca gets a perfect opportunity to demonstrate her true skills as a warrior against Adon. With her wit and agility back to 100%, Guts' future love interest was easily able to crush the last of this douche's paper pride, as well as his skull.
You were a fairly interesting man, in addition to being a vile, revolting bastard.
Number 6, Vegeta versus Android 18. Oh, so close to Android 19. Dragon Ball Z. Turns out that Super Saiyans aren't all they're cracked up to be.
Your aim was off by 10 degrees.
High off his first transformation, the Prince of Saiyans decided to test his mettle against the newly released Android 18, figuring it would be another walk in the park. And we all know how well that turned out. Turns out the blonde bombshell was a tad more powerful than Vegeta expected, evident from when she casually shattered his arm with a single kick, before putting him through the ringer like he was Nappa. It's not the first time the prince took a pounding, but it's by far one of his swiftest and most humiliating defeats to date. Number 5, Uraraka versus Bakugo. My Hero Academia. When we saw that our favorite cupcake was about to go up against King Explosion Murder at the sports festival, awesome band name, we were a tad concerned she was going to come out of it as nothing more than a pile of dust. As it happened, Uravity surprised fans and spectators alike by holding her own. Not only did she take on each of Bakugo's explosions like a champ, but she nearly pulled off a winning move in the form of making it rain meteors. She may have stumbled at the final hurdle, but she won all of our hearts doing so. Number 4, Hitsugaya versus Harribel, Bleach. It's a brawl between a dragon and a shark. Ooh, sign me up. With the only question being who between them has the bigger bite. My bet is on the dragon. Despite his assortment of icy abilities, the young captain of the 10th Division still gets put through his paces when facing off against both the immeasurable beauty and deadliness of Espada number 3.
Zero.
With her release form granting her the power to submerge whole cities, it's a miracle the boy wonder was able to pull through, only putting her out for the count temporarily with a gigantic ice flower obelisk.
Your life will have disappeared.
Number 3, Eren versus Annie, Attack on Titan. It's a literal clash of the titans, one that saw the two former trainees nearly tear each other apart inside the walls, while also trampling everything in sight. With her secret exposed, the traitorous Annie decides to go on a little bit of a rampage, only to be stopped in her tracks when Eren arrives on the scene. All Titan-fied and in a foul mood, given his comrade's sudden betrayal. From that point on, it's a brutal slugfest, concluding with the young scout letting his anger consume him to the extent that he was moments away from ripping Annie out of her Titan shell and eating her whole. Good. Your hate has made you powerful. Number 2, Kirito versus Fanatio, Sword Art Online Alicization. In a bid to rescue Alice from the administrator, Kirito and Yu-Gi-Oh! Launched a two-pronged assault against the Axiom Church, concluding with a slick and savage battle against this devout integrity knight. While her virtual magic may have pumped Kirito full of holes, she should have learned by this point that nothing comes between the OP Lord and the series' interchangeable main squeeze, resulting in Fanatio getting her pretty face and not so pretty zealotry sent crashing into the ceiling.
Just a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Arknights. The latest free update adds a new side story, Grani and the Knight's Treasure. This is a great event for all beginner players to obtain tons of in-game resources and develop themselves to the next level. So check out Arknights today.
Number 1. Saber Alter versus Berserker. Fate Stay Night, Heaven's Field 2, Lost Butterfly. Turns out that having the strength of Hercules doesn't have a patch on a young lady who has sealed away her heart and gone to the dark side. Now siding with the twisted geezer Zoken, this new insidious version of Saber comes with a major power upgrade, to the point where she was able to beat the 12 labors out of Berserker with relative ease, which is pretty much unheard of. Even with the bulky brawler's multiple regenerations, Gothic Saber over here just keeps killing them all over again, which, when combined with UFO Table's God tier animation, looks damn spectacular.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.